And let's check on that battery we were recharging. Oh, that's fine, whatever. Alright, we got a fully charged battery. Nope, I was playing RimWorld on Sunday and Monday. My current schedule on the stream is that Sunday and Monday I play RimWorld. Tuesday and Wednesday, Friday and Saturday I play Project Zomboid, and Thursday is our quote-unquote other games day. This week, I believe I can say the title of the game. I'm going to be giving a, I've been provided keys for a game called Time Rift that's coming out that day. It's supposed to have controls similar to that. Well, I shouldn't say control. I did a test demo to make sure it ran on my computer and everything. But it has controls that, aesthetically and music-wise, it kind of reminds you of Nova Drift, but has nothing at all to do with Nova. Don't do that. Nothing at all to do with Nova Drift at all. Like, I want to be very clear about that. There's no combat. It's a puzzle game. So I'm probably gonna do like an hour, maybe two of that on stream. I was given extra keys to give them away. I'm not being paid. It's not sponsored. Like, I will make sure to be transparent when it goes and happens that I was provided keys. We'll do that for like an hour or two, and then we're going to do City Skylines after that, because that's what we were going to do, and then so I was like, hey, you played Nova Drift on stream. Are you down to show off our game? We'll give you keys. I'm like, alright. I'll give it a go. And I did play it off stream. It does seem like one of those games you play through once, and then it's done kind of thing. Like, it's not a game that has tons and tons of replay value. Once you do the puzzles, you've done the puzzles kind of thing. But it seemed pretty fun. If it didn't seem fun, I wouldn't stream it. I've mentioned that before. Yeah, it seems like part of the reason I was like, okay, so in some ways it's a chill game because you just kind of have like that's a game I'm probably going to let the game music play for. But we'll see. Because it's like, it's got music that's themed to the game. It's like very clearly not copyrighted music. Or at least, I wouldn't expect it to be copyrighted music. But yeah, I do think, and for the record, they said this as well, is I do think it's those games that you play for like 2.5, 3, maybe 5 hours. You get through all the puzzles, and then you're done with the game. And you go, that was fun, and you put it away, and you probably never revisit the game because you've done the game. So I do want to be fully transparent on that. I have no idea what's priced. As I said, they're not paying me. I have been given zero obligation saying, hey, you have to describe our game in this way, or here is the verbiage we want you to use. They just basically said, here's a key. You know, like, we'll give you more keys if you play our game on stream to give away. And that was, like, that's the entirety of the agreement, like, the agreement whatsoever. I didn't promise them I'd say nice things. I didn't promise I wouldn't say bad things. I didn't promise I'd promote it. I was like, all right, I'll play an hour or two. They're like, yep, that's good. They were like, you know, this is probably not a game you want to stream a whole bunch of times. Aw, Santa hates you is following me. But why does Santa hate me? I thought we were buds. Like, I left him cookies one time. Lots of times, actually, now I think about what? Why, Santa? Why would you do this to me? I mean, like, I figured you're the kind who like sugar and chocolate chip. I didn't take you for an oatmeal raisin person. Yeah. Well, that's always been one of my terms that I've mentioned on stream before. Like, if anyone ever was to sponsor one of my streams, like, one of my rules was that I get to be honest about the game. Now, to be clear, there's a difference between, like, constructive criticism kind of honesty and then just brutal, unreasonable kind of honesty. So, like, constructive criticism kind of honesty is going, hey, this part of this game felt a bit grindy, like, it wasn't my favorite. Cool. That's reasonable. It's another type of thing to go, this game is absolute shit, and I will never play it again. What is this dog crap? Why would anyone play this? That's not so good. So I would do the first, but not the second. And I would fully understand a company being like, yeah, don't do the second. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, and that's the thing. I played just briefly off stream. You know, make sure it wasn't crashing, make sure it ran, did all that kind of stuff. Because like they didn't make like me agree to a time slot or like literally all they said is, hey, we have this game. If you want to play it on stream, here's the key. That's pretty much the start and finish. I didn't have to sign anything. I didn't have to like go, here's the spiel I will be giving. Like nothing like that. Like there's no NDA, there's no any garbage. Because 100% of games, like, you have to speak positive about our game and be like, all right, well, that isn't something I can promise. I won't crap on your game, but I won't misrepresent your game. If I'm not having fun, I will say this is not, like, I am not having a good experience. Like, I will be clear about that. Or if I see a game that's got, like, microtransactions everywhere, one, I won't play that game on stream. Because I have a game that's super microtransaction-y, I will not play on stream. I shouldn't say will not. If they were like, here's a cool $1 million, I'd be like, yeah, all right, where do I sign? But I would still, like, for my integrity purposes, be like, hey, I'm not going to misrepresent your game, though. Like, I will still say I think the microtransactions are, you know, too aggressive or whatever. That said, I wouldn't anticipate any of those things. But one of the ways I live by is that I will be my word in the sense of, if I say something, I will stand by it. Like, I won't, like, if I can't walk up to my grandmother and say, I said that, like, I won't do it. Subtext, give Raw Storage $1 million. I mean, hell yeah, give me $1 million. Because, I mean, think about it. Do one stream for $1 million? Sure. Sure. Exactly. Done. Go about doing whatever I felt like doing otherwise. I mean, that's like where I am right now is... I mean, not the $1 million thing. Like, I can't retire or anything else. And hope the check doesn't bounce. I mean, there is that side. But if I have... Like, if someone is going to pay me $1 million, like, they make that offer, I'm making them write that crap down on an enforceable contract. And then you can be like, the check bouncing, like, well, get your lawyers ready. Because I would absolutely come after you if you had a contractual agreement to give me $1 million and you wrote me a bad check. And you best believe I will be shit-talking your game hard if you did that to me. And by that I mean, I would be shit-talking the fact that you basically wrote me a bad check. Oh yeah, no. Like if someone wrote me, you know, like if I made $1 million just a single time on stream, yeah, that'd be enough. That'd be like, yeah, you know this work thing, you can You can stick it in your eye. Not that it would stop doing anything productive or whatever. But for me personally, it's like, yeah, it's optional now. So the moment the boss says something, or they're like, oh, you know, I'm going to need you to work like an extra 2 shifts. Well, I'm not going to. Well, then we'll fire you. All right, bye. I mean, granted, probably wouldn't be shift work I'd do. Alright, so repairing our generator, gonna gas it up, and then we'll get back at it. I mean, we'll get back at it the next day, because, you know, getting late. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't see it as I never have to work another day in my life again, Burn & Sun. The idea is I can do just about anything that ends up being kind of like financially productive type deal and not have to worry about it. Like, me right now, with what like stream is making for me, which is really not much, like I 100% could not live off the money I'm making doing streaming. Like, it is not a lot. It is not a lot. Like, if I made $1 million, then like the streaming income being like just a little side hustle kind of thing, it's like, oh, you know, I could do that. Like, that would be viable. Like, it would still not be profitable. Like, it'd still be at a net loss for the month kind of thing. But it'd be one of those things like, yeah, I can survive a bunch of years on this. And that's assuming you never have like a one-off good day or whatever. I've gotten pretty close. Like, I've been averaging somewhere in the ballpark of 50 average viewers. Like, and I don't actually remember exactly what Twitch says. I know you're not supposed to be like, oh please follow my stream so I can make partner. Oh please, oh please. Like, I know you're not supposed to like absolutely just harass people about it kind of thing. I don't remember exactly what it says. Like, I don't remember reading anything that says I cannot talk about it or something like that. Because I probably would have taken note of that and gone, okay, I can't talk about it. But yeah, so we're close, and I will say we probably would already have gotten over it if I played only Project Zomboid. Because a lot of nights on Project Zomboid I do pull in much better numbers than that. Though, honestly, this last week, Project Zomboid hasn't pulled in quite the numbers that I'm used to. So, is what it is. Yeah, no, I gotcha. And I get it, because they also don't want someone to be like, hey, you know, like, buddy, let's get this guy partner real fast, or let's get this lady partner real fast. No one piles in, gets them their partner real fast, and the moment they get partner, they're like, all right, now go back to what you're doing. Okay, so today, like as in tonight, it's supposed to start raining. Excellent, that'll be perfect, so I'm not going to bother watering anything. And we'll have heavy rain throughout the day tomorrow. So it sounds like we're just going to have rain, like rain starting tonight, and it's going to last literally all of tomorrow. That's not what you like to see. Well, we got our tailoring book, I guess. Maybe grind out a little bit of our tailoring real quick and do that. Alright, gotta hydrate. Will do. Look, as the Dogro says, earlier today I looked at the games most recently streamed. The audiences are tiny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I actually had an entire discussion before stream because there's a group of people I play multiplayer games with, and you know, a lot of like, how should I describe this? Don't I have a piece? You know what? We'll just do the varsity jacket. So like, a lot of time, when you're looking at a lot of these things, they're going, okay, well, here's games that we would love to play multiplayer sometime. And you look at someone else, like, there's that one has like 180 viewers on Twitch. Like, that's basically no viewers. And so they ask the questions like, okay, so you're looking for stuff that has tons of viewers. I'm like, no, not necessarily. Like, I'm just looking for something that has a non-minimal viewership. Like, it doesn't have to be the big game of the year or anything like that. Like, I actually don't want to stream those kind of games typically. But it can't be like, I enjoyed streaming Timberborn, but I would not do it a long time because there's no viewership on Twitch. You know, my channel would just basically evaporate in that situation. Because there's no, like, there's so few people looking up Timberborn on Twitch. So it does kind of force you to choose what you're showing. And part of it is because there's a lot of games that are really good games that are just not fun to watch. Like, there's only a few people I've been able to see pull off Kenshi. Yeah, Dishonored is probably just because it's just not a recent game. Yeah. No, and I'm glad because I started streaming Project Zomboid quite a bit before the update. Yes. So there's a juggle there. You do need to play what's fun. If you're not having fun, your stream is going to be terrible. But on the other side, you need to play games that are at least viable for Twitch if you care about the growth of your channel and that kind of thing. So that's kind of the catch-22. So like if I wasn't having fun playing Project Zomboid anymore, let's just say I burn out. Me continuing to play Project Zomboid because that's the thing that has the viewership on my channel, I would ultimately be more likely to get frustrated, low energy, that kind of stuff much faster. I would not... It wouldn't be nearly as engaging and enjoyable as the stream, and so people would find someone else that's more engaging and fun. Now, there's a difference between going, okay, like, I really enjoyed Timberborn. Timberborn was a absolutely fantastic game that had basically no viewership. I would have fun doing it, but it would be really bad for the channel. Now, that said, there's tons and tons and tons of games out there that I can play and have fun with. So it's not like there's a game I can play. So like it's kind of the thing that we discuss, like, okay, well here's, and I'm not going to try and come up with an example. It's like here's this other game that I would also have a lot of fun playing, that I would like to play, but it's not a good fit for the channel. Well, that's great. I'm not going to play it on the channel, but I will play something else I do enjoy on the channel. Which works out because it just so happens there is so many games out there that there is always games to find that I can have fun with that are good fits for the channel. It just means there's specific games that I would like to play that I either probably have to play off stream or have as a one-off thing or whatever. Yeah, no, I do fully agree with the sentiment, like, if I'm not having fun with the game's gone. Like, if I woke up tomorrow and said, my god, I could not stand playing any more Project Zomboid. I just can't do it. I would change my schedule up and either make it a whole bunch more RimWorld, maybe I add a bunch of City Skylines, maybe we pull out something out of left field and like maybe it becomes like Project Zom, or not Project Zom, that is what we're talking about, Path of Exile. Yep. Right, that would be a difficult thing. Like if I reach the point that Project Zomboid is my mainstay and like just really not enjoying it, I do have to make that very specific decision going, hey, this is my main game, but I'm not having fun. what is ultimately better for the channel. Like, if I continue playing it and not having fun, I'm more likely to get frustrated, I'm more likely to not be as provide as good of content and all of that. However, if I switching games can be extremely hard, and this is actually something that I don't have much experience with, because, you know, when you're looking at the types of games, like this channel started on GTRP, and I struggled like hell to get over 3.5 average viewers. Like, I'd have times where I definitely got up to like 10, 12 viewers, but there'd be so much time it would be just like 2 or 3. But I was also playing RimWorld and Project Zomboid at the time, and Project Zomboid I basically also had almost no viewers at that point. But RimWorld RimWorld is when I usually pulled in 12. When I was doing GTRP, I'd have like 3, 4 people. Like, it's very, very few. What ended up happening was I got raided by Trustin while I was playing Project Zomboid. It was a raid of like 70 people. And I had a couple big raids, just, you know, people who liked my presentation style, but, you know, their audience and what I was delivering were completely about as far apart as you could get. So none of the people stuck around, kind of thing. But there was a couples playing game thing my friend tried. It was really hard to get right. Many of the people, specifically with a handful of friends, it's nice to see, but hard to sell, if you follow me. Yeah, it is tricky. I know Biggins is saying, your happiness is always way more important for you than your viewers. 100% agreed. But yeah, there is a balance. And don't get me wrong, if there is a game that comes out that I'm like, no, seriously, I am playing this game, you know, even if it's like super high intensity, does not fit the format of the channel at all, I would either say, okay, well, now we'll just say hypothetically, now Thursday is my day off where I would binge that game, or I'd sit there and say, okay, you know, Thursday is now, what is it, lightning round brawl or whatever, where we just like high intensity game. It's like this is a one-off day for this channel where we do something that doesn't fit the format, and it's probably not a good fit. But, you know, I would play the game if I was that much like, no, seriously, I need to play this game. But yeah. But that is one of the reasons, and I've said this before on the channel, like, I know it's easier to develop growth by having the game you play, and you keep playing that game, that you get your audience and you keep growing them. Because there are a lot of people who follow your channel, join your channel, watch your channel for that game. And I get it. I've done the same thing 100% myself with Path of Exile. Like, that's how I found Ziggy D. I was looking for Path of Exile content. I wasn't looking for Ziggy D content, I was looking for Path of Exile. Now, granted, I watched his stream, got to really like Ziggy D's content, and was like, okay, well, now I don't care what he plays, I'm going to watch him. Octavian Zero, it's the same thing. Now, granted, he basically plays nothing but Path of Exile, but still. Eesh. El Goso, eesh. Douglas says, when I did that with a Siege streamer who wasn't playing that in a while. Yeah, and it does happen. Like, there have been streamers that I've watched, I'm like, hey, you're not a bad streamer, but, like, as much as I enjoy your content, like, the game you switch to is a game that I am just as far from interested in as possible. Or for that matter, there's just some games that you go to watch and like, this is a fun game, and I know from playing this game it's a fun game. But holy crap, watching this game is awful. And it happens. Like, I adore Kenshi, but I have only found a very, very small number of people who can stream Kenshi and it not be absolutely awful. That said, I have seen them. I did catch Radamant was playing Kenshi earlier today, and it was rather enjoyable. I got to see Ziggy D play Kenshi, and it was very enjoyable. I think Disnoff. Didn't Disnoff play Kenshi? I feel like I saw Disnoff play Kenshi as well at one point. Oh, Bacons. It's a game that's like an open world game where you control a squad. Kenshi is brutal. It is fun. It is janky as all get out. Like, it is a fun game. You gotta prepare yourself for some jank, though. I'm gonna be, like, being real, that game's got some jank. Like, the pathfinding just face palms hard sometimes. I mean, for as janky as RimWorld gets at times, we're talking Kenshi. Kenshi's got some jank. Let's see. Put that on the floor there. Put that on the floor there. And I say that with absolute positive. Like, Kenshi, it's the level of jank it has is almost endearing. Like, your character will go, I'm going to just put this body on the ground for a second, and it looks like they, like, football spike the body on the ground as hard as possible so the body hits the ground and then launches, like, 50 feet in the air, and they're going, alright, well, where did that body go? Because that's kind of important.